In October 2019, Arlington, Texas was chosen to be the home of a new national museum, unlike any other. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a unique home of military history. The 100,000 square foot museums will house exhibits, archives, and artifacts relating to the 3,500 U.S. troops who have been awarded the medal, the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. The museum will have 31,000 square feet of galleries dedicated to U.S. troops who have received the award. The museum CEO, former Navy SEAL and NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, said the museum will focus on education as much as preservation. The building will have 5 areas dedicated to Medal of Honor winners from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The main gallery will be located in a central plaza under a 25,000 square foot slab of steel, which will appear to be suspended in midair. It will be supported by 5 pillars. Black Rifle Coffee is a corporate sponsor of the museum, as are the Dallas Cowboys. The museum's board also includes over a dozen major corporations and 6 Medal of Honor recipients, including David Bellavia, Patrick Brady, and Britt Slabinski. Army Staff Sergeant Bellavia was awarded the medal for clearing an entire house by himself on November 10, 2004, as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. He killed 4 enemy fighters and wounded a 5th in close quarters battle. Army Major General Brady flew and coordinated the evacuation of 51 seriously wounded men during a firefight in Vietnam in January 1968. Slabinski, a Navy SEAL chief and team leader, led a rescue team of SEALs during Operation Anaconda in Afghanistan in March 2002. Slabinski and his team flew to a mountaintop ambush site to rescue Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts, who had fallen from the back of a helicopter. Slabinski led the team through almost constant combat against an entrenched Taliban force. Along with the board members, former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama serve as honorary directors. The museum is expected to open to the public in late 2024.
All right. Welcome back.
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation. The Misfit Nation Show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation Show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
Good evening, everybody. It's Tuesday. So, the other guys are here. We're still not in the opening credits. But, it's like Gilligan's Island. And the rest, Jake and Steve, we are here. It's Tuesday. It's the Tuesday show. How are you, Jake?
I am wonderful, Stephen. Had a good day today, and I'm excited for this next guest. But before we get started, I want to put out a shout out to Inert Mugs, inertmugs.com. They give
It's blurry like your background, buddy.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tell you what, hey, without any further ado, we are going to get on to the show. A wonderful person. We just spoke to her for a little bit. Charissa Halonen. Her life's been filled with some trials and tribulations. I will let her go through all that. But what she did have, she had a life-altering car accident that resulted in an undiagnosed brain injury. That's terrible, and it caused post-concussive syndrome, and she overcame that. And that is going to be part of her story tonight, and I am excited to listen to it, and let's hope all of our guests are too. Welcome, Charissa.
Thank you.
You heard the last part of it I gave about a nickel's worth of your bio. Why don't you fill in the next 95 cents for us?
Well, you're completely correct. That car accident definitely changed my life. It sent me down a path that I didn't know was a part of life for a lot of people. Up until that point, I was a fully functioning massage therapist, all was going well. And then, during a work day, I was in a car accident where my brain hit my skull in 3 different places, and then it wasn't diagnosed for 3.5 years.
Oh,
So for those 3.5 years, not only did it change my personality from being super kind and patient and just easy to get along with to being a lot more aggressive and a lot more forgetful and like kind of a jerk, for lack of a better word. But when I got that diagnosis, after being really like, this isn't like me, very stubborn, I ended up by going to an orthopedic surgeon to get my back looked at from the accident. And he's the one that was like, actually, you have a concussion that nobody diagnosed. And when you have a brain injury, if you don't get proper treatment right away, which I'm a very big advocate, if you're in a little fender bender, get a concussion protocol checked first, because then you can actually make an impact. But I was 3 years post, so then all the damage that was there was irreversible. And the struggle that I face all the time is I look perfectly normal. So there is absolutely no grace at the fact that half the time, if it's been an overwhelming day, I can't tell you what my name is. I know what it is up here, but I can't get it across because the pathways are so shaken up. It's a lot more having to be mindful in a day of how I'm doing things. I have to write everything down now instead of having a quick memory, things like that. So and the personality, I had to grieve the loss of the person I was without permission. My life changed, but it definitely has created the space to build a better person.
Okay. I've got a little bit of TBI.
Yeah.
From being in the military. I have found, kind of like you, there's times I've been to town where I live.
Yeah.
Hundreds, probably thousands of times. But there's times I have to set the GPS to come home.
Yep.
And it's weird. And I know a lot of our guests are military and probably suffer from the same thing. And yeah, it's out there. So definitely take that and get that taken care of.
Yeah. It's the most underrated thing, because when you're alive, your brain is a different consistency than when they're doing the studies on the cadavers. So the research that they have about it is actually fairly inaccurate. Right. So all you have to do is have your brain hit your skull and you can get a bruise and have some trauma. So it's really easy to miss the symptoms of it, and people just, write it off really easily. So
yes.
Good to get it checked out for sure.
Yes. Yes, it is. But we can get started. Okay. You still a massage therapist?
Yes, I am. One of my many hats I wear at the current moment.
What are some of the hats you wear? Go ahead, tell us all about it.
My husband and I are also online mindset fitness coaches with training, nutrition, and mindset. We're organic farmers. I'm a new stepmom to teenage boys with trauma, a yoga instructor. So my life is a wide array of things right now. The mindset coaching stuff is the newest thing that I offer for people because it is transformative. Your mind is with you every day, and being able to have a positive mindset every day takes work. So building the discipline and the habits to being able to correct the thoughts that are going through your mind, to see everything in front of you as either an opportunity or a lesson. It helps navigate the day so much better. Like in my job as a massage therapist, it ends up by being a little bit of therapy with people. And it always kind of comes back to a mindset. You know, you're presented with two things in a day. You can look at it negatively or positively. And one is going to help you grow, and one is going to create an obstacle for you. And positivity isn't always about smiling and being happy-go-lucky. It's just seeing that there's potential past the dark moments or the difficulty that lies in front of you, knowing that, okay, I have the experience of doing hard things before. I got through it, which means no matter what's in front of me now, I'm going to be able to get through that too. So just teaching people that there is a better way of life instead of just, you know, getting stuck in the comparisonitis and the depression of things. It's just kind of organizing how your nutrition, how you're training. Like the power of one burpee is incredible to change how your body's doing, how your mind is doing, because the minute you start doing physical exercise, you release the happy hormones in your body, which helps your mindset move along. And then it helps you get through hard moments without choosing, you know, an inappropriate action or a vice of some sort, or just like negative self-talk that's going to lead you down a darker path. The power of, you know, changing a thought to something more positive, or doing one burpee, has the power to save and change a life.
Well, good. I'm a firm believer in physical activity makes you feel better. And for me, sometimes it's just picking up a bucket and going out and collecting eggs. It's nothing, but it's off the couch, it's out of the house, and it just, I do that, and I try to think of, and I think Stephen, he mentioned this before too. Every morning that I wake up and I'm looking down at the grass and not up through it is a blessing. That means, you know, things can only get better from here.
Absolutely. Every day there's something to be grateful for. And it's
you just have to make it. Make it work.
Exactly. It's what you choose to see the day as. Every moment is another opportunity to make a different choice in the way that you see things. It's also a way to make an impact on people, even with the most simple thing, like, you know, having the opportunity of collecting the basket of eggs gives you that time to be mindful and think about something. And if we find ourselves getting too stuck in our own problems, be of service to other people. Go do something where they can't repay you.
Yes. Yes. And I have found a lot of times doing that makes you feel better than it does them.
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah. And I had that the other day. I helped a woman home with her groceries, and she wanted to pay me. I knew she couldn't afford to pay me. And I said, no. I says, I hope that sometime that somebody would do this for my mama.
Yeah.
And she thought that was great. And that was that. And I was walking on a cloud for about 3 days. And it was just, yes, it was amazing.
Absolutely. I honestly think we're designed to serve other people, right? Everybody gets so disconnected from each other when we focus so much on our problems, which are really just challenges. They're not so much of an adversity unless you unfortunately are missing a limb or missing an ability to walk, or there's some sort of physical handicap which creates an actual adversity. It's just a challenge. And it's, reframing that and figuring out how to look at the challenges. What is this actually teaching me? Because it's usually will slow you down and teach you a lesson that, in hindsight is usually when it comes out. But if you can see the lesson more in the moment, then it creates that opportunity for growth. If I hadn't had my car accident, my life wouldn't be where it is today. It wouldn't have caused me to slow down.
Yes.
But you also don't know where it would be if you didn't have the accident. So living in the now and going from there.
Yeah. That goes into the mindset stuff, though.
Right.
I have no idea if my car accident wouldn't have happened, what kind of person I would be today. I'm grateful for where I am today and the impact that I can create from where I am now. And I truly believe that everything happens in life to bring you to where your purpose is truly to be of the best service. But again, I wouldn't know if I hadn't had the car accident. I think I would be less of a good person than I am now, because the path that I was on was a lot more worried about my problems and avoiding my life, and too much drinking going on then, that I wasn't actually aligning with the purpose that I'm in now of being able to help people with their mindsets and coach them and create physical changes, because I was too worried about my own problems.
Right. Okay.
So
now, are you totally sober now or just slowed down?
I'm 100% sober. I actually celebrated 1 year of intentional sobriety on the 23rd of April. My husband and I both took that journey. Before that, I had slowed down a little bit, but last year on the 23rd of April, I put my foot down. He's had his own trauma. And I'm like, we have to show our boys who are 11 and 14 now. I'm like, there's a better way to do this, and drinking is not one of them. So we are 100% committed to sober, and we just celebrated 1 year of complete sobriety.
Well, hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you. Now, did y'all do that on your own? Did you?
We did it on our own. We did it together. There was an incident that I put my foot down with him. I'm like, you need to make changes. I'm like, whatever you choose, I'm with you.
Okay.
We're doing this for a year. And I'm like, excellent. I'm with you. And then the year turned into, this is what our life is now. And we no longer accept it in our life.
All right. Hey, we got a question in from X, from Lisa 857. When you had your accident, how long was it before you realized, while it was a horrible day, how much of an awakening that it was?
It took me about 4 years. Like when I finally got the diagnosis of the brain injury, it was immediate relief of I'm not crazy, because I felt there was something wrong. And then it took a little while to actually accept, okay, I have a brain injury that has no cure. And then it's like, okay, now I can see where that's going. So it took probably about 4 years for me to actually look at it fully for what it was, and to be able to take the positivity into it, instead of just being mad that my life changed without permission.
Okay. All right. Now, you mentioned that you spoke with your husband about drinking.
Yes.
So I imagine y'all have a very good relationship for you to bring that up. And you told him no matter what choice he made, you was going to be with him. What are some more keys to a happy marriage and relationship? Besides, obviously y'all have good communication and trust.
Yes.
But what are some other factors?
We work on it every day. Like we always run towards each other. If there's a problem, we don't self-isolate. This is my first marriage. This is his second. He lost his first wife unexpectedly in an accident on the farm. So he had been through being in a marriage before. So we have things that we don't compromise on. We don't compromise on poor communication. We make sure that there is always good communication. We realize that we're two people with histories. So when some things show up that, I haven't done anything, but I'm getting a response, I'm like, hey, this is a reaction to an old situation. This is not us. So always drawing attention and then holding space for them to be able to work on what he needs to work on. Or if I'm bringing old stuff from old relationships, then I get that space to work on it. But we very much, show up every day and know that the way that it works is because we work on it every day. And some days the brunt and, holds the relationship, and other days it's my turn to take the brunt and hold the relationship, because every day is going to be a little bit different.
Yes. And I think that all of our listeners, I know some people are kind of weird about that, but I think that most of our listeners know that no matter how good a marriage is, it's not all wine and roses all the time.
It can't be. Life has to be more than one color. Life is not just happy. It's not just unhappy. It's everything in between. So you have to have that space that everything in between is going to be there, but you have a partner with you to go through and experience and share in all of the expressions of life. And I think that's a disservice people do, is they get into a relationship and they think it's just going to always be happy, and then they get mad and leave when it doesn't.
Yes, and they don't work on it. And this brings me to my next question for you which right now, I don't think that there's enough of this in, I know, our country, and that's accountability. As far as, if you make a mistake, if something, be accountable for it.
Yes.
Speak about your philosophy on accountability for a little bit.
I think there's huge power in accountability. A lot of people like to outwardly say, well, I could, it wasn't my fault. It's like, but then you've just given your power to change the situation away as well. It's like, I show up. If I make a mistake, I do apologize. There's sometimes where I drag my heels. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to. But it's one of those I'm like, I have to, because I actually did a wrong. And I've taught both my husband and my 2 stepkids that I'm like, if I come to you with an apology to say, I am sorry, this is what I did, I don't expect it's okay, because most of the time it's not okay. Just say thank you. And that's when you really hurt them. And also that it's like, okay, you can make a repair, because they say thank you for the apology. And it's, if you go ahead.
And sometimes that's all it takes, just for somebody to, once you've bared your soul to them, somebody to acknowledge that you did that to them or for them.
Well, and then you're not in competition with yourself, because you've been fully accepting of the choices you've made. Even if it was a poor choice, I accept that I did this. I accept my consequences, and then move forward because you faced it head on. If you don't have accountability, that's where, the skeletons in the closet can haunt somebody, because you're not facing them. You're not saying, well, I did those things. It's like, no, that wasn't me. It's like, yes, you did. You did them, accept them, make amends, carry forward, and then there's nothing for anybody to dig up on you.
Exactly.
I've worked retail for over 30 years, and my thought all the time was, it's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness after permission doing things sometimes. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to ask for forgiveness in the situations that's in need.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes you take the gun out and you shoot, and then you think about it and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry about that.
Got another question from Jeffrey on Google Text. He was checking out your Instagram. Are your workouts done in your house, or do you go to a gym?
So we have a home gym. We're rural, so we live on a farm, and the garage has a home gym set up, and usually our burpees or push-up posts that we do every night are done either in our house or in the office where I do my massage.
Okay.
Everything is home-based. We just have invested a fair amount into our home gym to make sure we can do our workouts consistently.
All right. And I forgot to ask you, what do you have on your farm?
We do organic grain. So
Oh, nice.
barley's, peas, wheat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talk to us a bit about macros.
So macros are super useful. Whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to build muscle, or you just want generally good health, knowing how much carbs, protein, and fat you need to sustain a healthy body weight is really important, especially for my ladies, because a lot of ladies don't eat enough protein. They think that if I eat protein, I'm going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not true.
No.
It helps you maintain your lean muscle, and your lean muscle helps your metabolism work and your body function, because if your body doesn't get enough protein, it's going to break down the protein source in your body, which is your muscles. And if you don't have muscles because your body's eating it, then you're going to break your body down and you're going to create dysfunction. So knowing what's on your plate and how to portion a plate is really important, because then you're getting enough of all of the right fuel to function well.
All right. All right. And what goes, I guess, matching those different foods and different types of food, that's going to aid digestion as well.
Yes. When it comes to digestion, like single ingredient foods, so potatoes, steak, chicken, broccoli, anything that's a single ingredient is going to be a lot easier to digest on the body, depending on the person. Some veggies have to be cooked for some people. Some can be raw and they digest it well. But the least amount of ingredients, the better your body is going to do on it. And that's for anybody.
Okay. All right. Seeing if we have any more questions from the listeners. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey.
It's one of my
I'm
favorite.
sorry. I didn't wear my shirt tonight.
I didn't wear my shirt.
But
I could put a hat on if you like.
Rich ordered us the MisFitNation shirts for studio shirts, and
right.
So this here's the inaugural run of them this evening. So
really great.
We appreciate that. So what's next?
So next is really just launching the coaching business broader. I'm going to scale down my massage a little bit more and focus more on my coaching clients we want to help everybody live the best life that they can live. And for a lot of people, especially if you grew up as a younger kid that was overweight, and now you're an adult that's overweight, you've never known that your body can feel good, and that being able to dial in your mindset will help change your life. It doesn't cost you anything to, we have lots of free content on our page for people to follow along. So we want to be able to impact those of all ranges, the ones that want to pay for coaching or the ones that just want to show up on our page to see what kind of crazy thing we're doing today, because we document everything every day. We're the kind of coaches that we're doing it with you, and we're going to lead by example every day, so that we can help people encourage themselves to make more positive choices in their day and just have a better life overall.
All right. And what is that website?
So our Instagram is where we're most active, and it's the.relentless.couple. And
okay.
We are there every day. I'm up at 3:00 in the morning every day. You'll see a little post of our vitamins that we take and a quote to get you going. Do a little bit of reading and then off to the gym.
Okay, and it just scrolled across the banner. We'll have it up there pretty much for the remainder of the show. And you say anybody can reach out to you and contact you there?
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
You'll be talking to either me or my husband, Tyler. It's actual people that you'll be talking to. And we get back. Any questions, anything like that, feel free to send us a message. We're always happy to have any kind of content.
All right. Got another question here from Joe on X. What are some starter exercises for those who are just getting into fitness?
It depends on your fitness level, but going for a walk burpees are a really good one. Even if you can't go all the way to the ground, like to do a push-up and come back up, it's a whole body exercise that works all the muscle groups and gives you some good cardio. Just if you need modifications, send me a message and I can send you the different variations. But just getting your body moving, tricep dips on a chair, couple body weight push-ups and a couple burpees, and that's a really good way to start. You'll be surprised at how little burpees you can do before you're out of air when you're first getting started.
Oh, I can only imagine. Thank you for that question, Joe. And hello, Katrina.
Hello.
Well, what are, we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about diet. We've talked about a positive mindset, accountability, communication with your partner, whether you're married or, whatever your living situation is, what to eat. I like that single ingredient food stuff. I'm big on that because I try not to get too complicated with that. What if I'm just getting started, or one of our guests or one of our listeners are just getting started? What are the top 3 most important things, to kind of, whether they're in a slump, just feeling blah? What's 3 important things that they need to do just to get started and get on the track to wellness?
So the first thing I always tell people is have a gratitude practice. As soon as you wake up in the morning, say what you're grateful for. Right? That starting the day with the gratitude helps change the day. Set an alarm and get up. No snooze button, because then you've created a win for yourself. The very first thing, you get up, put your feet on the ground. It'll suck for the first 5 minutes, but then you're up and going and it's not so bad. And then just be consistent. Once you start doing the little things of having the gratitude practice, getting up on time, move your body, those 3 things are some of the best things that you can do. And then just keep doing it every day. The more days that you stack, the more your results compound. It's when you start and stop and start and stop that your results can't go anywhere, because there's no building effect. And it's the little tiny changes that you make that are consistently executed are going to be the biggest changes. When you do too many big things at once, you overcomplicate it and then it falls over. The simplest is the best, and just repetitive. And that's the same with our page. You'll see us do the same things every day because the little simple things work. And if you treat every day as day 1, you just have to win day 1.
Okay.
The next day is day 1. So you just repeat, and then eventually it's been 365 days and you've won every day because you treat it as the first day.
Okay. And we have a term for that, and we've got it running across the bottom of the banner. We call that stacking victories.
I like it.
Yes, we're big proponents of that.
It gives you little check boxes in the day. It's like, okay, I set my alarm, I got up on time, win. I moved my body, win. I ate good, clean, single ingredient foods, win.
Okay.
Had a gratitude practice, and then you can see, if you look at your day, it's a win.
Awesome. We've got another question from Samesh on X. With mindset, how do we take power of our life and stop settling for less?
You have to keep your promises to yourself. So when you set an intention for what you're going to do, you execute on that. Because if you can work on you and build yourself into the best person and build a trust in yourself, then everything else will change in a positive way from there. You can't expect people around you to do the things that you want them to do or to show up for you if you don't show up for you. And it's easy and free because all you have to do is keep your word to yourself. And it has such underlying power, both positive and negative. So that's why setting the alarm is so simple, because it's a promise to yourself you're getting up at that time. And when you keep it, the world changes. When you don't, the world feels really depressive.
Okay. All right. Stephen, you got anything?
I have nothing right now. I'm sitting here a total blank. You're talking about remembering and doing things, and I'm working all day, and I'm looking at my watch to remember that it's 4:30. That's April 30th, because I forget what day it is. And you're talking about setting your alarm and having this mindset. I'm like, I can't remember what day of the week it is half the time, and I just work through it.
You just have to take it moment by moment.
Yeah.
If you're always where your feet are, because that's the only thing that we actually know is in that moment. So it doesn't matter what time it is, and it doesn't matter what day it is. It's what's happening in that moment. Am I being the person I want to be? Am I keeping my choices to myself? Everything else is irrelevant. It's like, what is actually happening in our moment, and how are you showing up for yourself? Because that's the only thing you can control is your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset about things. Everything else is out of our control, so we can't worry about that because it just takes away from what we're creating. It's really simplifying things into where your feet are.
Okay. Well, hey, I tell you what, I've had a wonderful evening. I learned a lot this evening. I might have to start being more positive.
Free.
Hey, it is free. And my dad, he always had a saying. He said, nice begets nice. So,
It's true.
you know, that was his words to live by. I didn't always think he was very nice to me, but usually I gave him a reason not to be nice to me, but his heart was in the right place. But Charissa, wonderful chat this evening. We had your website up there for your Instagram. If people want to get in touch with you, I think you've given us plenty of tools that we can go out and make our lives better and possibly become better people, which I think right now, I think we could use some more better people, or the good people that are out there need to stand up and say, okay, we're going to make this place better.
Everybody has the ability to make even just themselves more positive, which just outwardly flows.
Oh yeah. It spreads. I guarantee it does.
Yeah.
It spreads. Well, hey, we're going to get off of here. And well, right now I want to read across. But today we pause and think of the families of the 4 law enforcement officers lost yesterday in Charlotte, and Deputy Marshal Thomas M. Meeks and Investigator William Alden Elliott, Investigator Samuel Palash, and Police Officer Joshua Iyer. Their end of watch was yesterday, April 29th, in that ordeal that happened down in Charlotte. It's a sad thing for their families. And just like, law enforcement, fire departments, military, we respect y'all and love everything that you do, and thank you. Well, with that, Stephen, I think it's time to roll on out of here.
All right. Now, just so you know, your information will be in the notes.
Thank you.
At the end of the show, it'll be in the system, and once it's posted for everybody to watch again, it'll always be on YouTube. But once it's posted, they'll have the information there, so they'll be able to get in touch with you or go to your page.
Awesome. So, I'll share this online for sharing your guys' word. I appreciate it.
All right. And hey, if you think of anybody else that you think would be good to come on here, just give them the contact information for the show and send them our way.
Sounds fantastic. I will send them.
All right. Well, hey, you have a wonderful time up there in the North Country,
and
enjoy your 2 weeks of summer.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys.
Well, hey, y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you next time. And thank everybody for tuning in this evening.
Thanks so much.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.